Welcome everybody, I'm Dr. Rakish, Rana, the Clear Coach, and with me I have James Ison, the deal maker for the 0.1%. 0.1% we'll get back to shortly. However, first of all, James, I want you to tell us about your journey from a young entrepreneur at school to where you are today, and we'll pick up once you've told us that story.
Yeah, it sounds so far away now, doesn't it? School.
School.
12 years.
Wow.
I was at school. So essentially growing up, I wasn't from the best of privileged backgrounds, if you will. I didn't have the latest games. I didn't have holidays and things like that. So it was a case of if I wanted something, I had to earn it. And I didn't have that privilege of getting pocket money or whatever growing up. So anything I did want, I needed to source those funds. And that's what really got me into buying and selling. I learned very quickly to make money, you got to sell something. So started off with whatever I had around the house, old toys, clothes that I'd grown out of. I'd go down the car boot in Leicestershire, Polesworth Market. It was at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, selling what I could to get what I could. Sometimes it was really good. I'd come home with maybe 40, 50 pounds, which back in those days was a lot of money. And other days I'd go and I'd probably come back with 4 quid or 5 quid because it was raining.
And of course, well, I must admit, and I know we've talked about this before, but I'm very familiar with those markets because being from the same neck of the woods, I always used to go to those markets when I was younger with my father.
Shout out to anyone in the Midlands that goes to the Wellesbourne, Polesworth,
Market Bosworth and all those areas, all of them.
So we started doing that and I got, I'd say, quite good at it. I started to spot patterns and what people were buying, when to sell, the best markets to go to throughout the year. And I soon learned that I was very restricted on when I could make money. I could only make money if I didn't have homework, if I didn't have a rugby game on the weekend, and if the weather was good. And there was a lot of factors that were out of my control. So I needed to quickly look how to get things back under my control to actually sell more. And that was the internet. I mean, the internet we had dial-up. It was all Yahoo and everything else, but eBay was around, and I essentially stumbled onto that and started to list items on there. And I think it was around about 10 days after our first listing that I got the email. I remember running into the lounge to show my mum, "Oh my God, I've sold something. I'm going to get money, but I don't know how to do it." And that's it. That's just generally how the eBay was at the time. Started that. Thought, okay, there's got to be more profitable things. So where do I find things that are cheap and I'm able to make a good profit on? And that was overseas. So started to Google.
Before you move on to that, I'll just go back to the eBay bit. Because when eBay was around, is around, but I remember selling things on eBay, just little items, and I'd make the sale and I'd be very happy with the money I made, small amounts. But it soon bored me, the hassle of having to go to the post office and all of that. I mean, at no point or any point did you think, "Oh, this is too much of a hassle"?
No.
I kept going.
I think when people say they're hungry, I was hungrier.
Fair enough.
And that's what it is. Like, people use eBay, they use online selling to clear out their wardrobes, maybe essentially just get rid of stuff. They don't ever look at it as, this could be my first source of proper income, be a career. And that's what I wanted it to be. I was just so focused on, this is it. I'm in control. I don't have a boss. I am my boss. As a young person, it was kind of a bit of a power trip, a bit of an ego boost. This is it. I'm in control of everything. I decide what I'm going to sell. I decide how I'm going to send it. And it was that thrill. And we eventually just carried on. And as just going back to it, started to buy and sell different things from overseas. And the item that really worked the best for me was the iPhone 4 case. So the iPhone 4 came out, it was the first iPhone to really have those custom cases that people used to change. And I spotted very quickly that these cases are very expensive. They were selling for like 20, 30 pounds in Carphone Warehouse. Wow. And they are silicon cases. So looked overseas, found them in China. And they were, I think at the time they were like 80p. And I was able to get them to the country and sell them for £8, £9. People were happy because they were saving money. They were able to have more variety of choice. I would send them out. It would go through as a large letter stamp, so it would fit nicely in an envelope.
Yeah.
And in fact, no, I don't think I've got it anymore. No, that's another story. I used to have a template
Okay.
boards that had like a hole for a letterbox.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it to test out products. So I'd buy things from China, and my weapon was if it could fit through the slot, the profit was huge. So that's it, and it just cascaded from there. We went from doing like 1-2 cases a day to 20-30 cases, 200-300 cases. And the rest is kind of history.
And this is all whilst you're still in your teens. You're still what, 16, 17?
15, 16.
Wow.
16 was the year that it got serious.
Okay.
I mean, I thought I was like Alan Sugar at the age of 15, but when that the next level, the summer of 2009, that was the big one. That was the one that really made it serious and really made it legit. Put us on the map.
What was that?
And it was the 19th of July 2009. I've looked back because I need to remember that date. I got a message from one of the Chinese suppliers who I've worked with for years, and it's quite funny. Yeah. You get to know these people and you message them every day, but I've never actually met him. It's just phenomenal. And his name is Jack, and he messaged me saying, James, I've got this product. It's a stick that holds your phone. And I'm like, what? I had this idea that it was some sort of like spear idea.
Yeah. And
he started sending me messages of all these like Asian models like posing with selfie sticks, and I just remember sitting there going, "What the hell is this?" Like Asian culture, we take the piss out of you guys because obviously people are taking photos all the time. And I just thought, oh, this is not going to work in this country. We're not like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, we'll try it. And he wanted me to order a lot, and I was thinking, no chance. So we ordered. I think it was about 30 or 40 of them at the time.
Okay.
By the time I bought them and listed them on the platform on eBay, they were sold before they even reached the UK.
Wow.
This was it. I thought, right, we're onto something. Okay. So 2030 turned into 100, 100 turned into 300, 300 turned into 800, 800 turned into 2,000-3,000 at a time. Wow. And we were buying them for less than 50p and selling them for close to £15.
So you were like essentially the selfie king, selfie stick king.
The selfie stick king. We were the #1 retail online platform for selfie sticks for around about 4 months.
Okay, wow.
That's all you need.
That's amazing. I won't ask you to divulge figures, but I'm sure it's probably impressive if you were #1.
Yeah, we did okay. We did okay.
Yeah. The key standouts whilst you've been describing that journey are, one, just having the mindset to be able to think and be quite intuitive of what might sell, what might not sell. The other thing is about how you're able to trust somebody thousands of miles away that you've never met.
Mm.
And thirdly, you talk about we.
Yeah.
So I just want to address those 3 points really. So right, where did that intuition come from?
Intuition was, I always look at things and try and imagine if I was the buyer, okay, would this appeal to me? Is this quite a good bargain? Can I get it easily? Is this like relevant to my life? And at the time, just going back to the iPhone, those ticked all those boxes.
So okay, my challenge to you there then would be, I'm gonna say you're a typical Caucasian male living in England, but you might be the people buying from you aren't the typical you. So how do you still? Okay, that's an understanding that, yes, that's a way to look at it and way to look at the market. Is that the best way, or is it a way to start, let's say?
When I say to people, you need to do what makes you happy, that is very true, but you need to do something that makes you interested and you can see the value in it. Because if you can see the value in it, 9 times out of 10, personal experience, you succeed. And I could see the value in what I was selling and what I was potentially going to sell to people my age, of my interests, who are similar to me. I mean, there are, just to say, like, yeah, you were selling to people from other countries and different backgrounds, etc. That's true, but there's also a lot of white, young, Caucasian guys here.
So realistically, your market focus was people like you. It's just fortunate and actually a great product that it traversed
It's
other cultures as such, let's say.
sheep herding psychology. That's all
Yeah.
it is. I mean, we got lucky because we hit a mass market very quickly without realizing it was a mass market.
Yeah, of course.
And if you look at the growth of accessories now for phones, that years ago you have to go to a phone shop to buy an accessory for a phone. Now everyone does it. Like, you get corner shops, you get supermarkets selling cases.
Anywhere.
It wasn't like that at the time. So we stumbled upon it at a very early infant stage and then just rode that wave.
Perfect. And then I mentioned about trust. So you're dealing with people thousands of miles away. You've never met them. I mean, that would make me feel a bit cautious and apprehensive, and possibly not even want to follow through. So, how did you get over that?
I think it's very interesting you asked that question, because I'm a lot less trustworthy with other people now than I was then.
Okay.
I kind of had that. I didn't believe every person potentially could be a shark, kind of that I do now. But no, I thought, okay, this guy has a website. He seems a nice person over messages. He has what I need. He wants what I can provide in terms of money.
Yeah.
That's it. And we did it. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that every deal we ever did with China went well. I mean, I've lost a lot of money buying things that existed, things that didn't turn up, things that turned up in different sizes. Yeah, it is a bit of a lottery, but that's life.
And I guess we're talking about a lot of the successes that you had. However, you've just touched upon there's a lot of things that didn't go right.
Oh yeah. I've had moments where I've had messages from my family being like, James, so this has turned up. What is this? And I've had to go and explain what it is, and then go back to China and be like, what the hell have you sent me? This is just not going to work. I'll give you an example. I can't remember the exact model number, but they were clearing stock for Samsung cases at the time. And I've never been a Samsung Android user. I'm very biased. I'm always Apple. So I didn't know the market, and I took a risk and arrived, I think, 12,000 Samsung cases.
Oh, wow.
Which sounds great. Turns out the model of the phone was around about 3 years old.
Oh, no.
So they all came, and I thought, wow, this is absolute steal. And I mean, I bought them for pence. Like, literally, I think they were around 7 to 12p a case.
It's still quite a bit of money, though.
It's still a good chunk of money, and it's not necessarily a chunk of money. It's the hassle and time of trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we listed them, and I think we sold maybe 4.
Oh, gosh. So I mean, there's a great lesson for any startup or an entrepreneur business person. Know your market. You took a risk without even knowing your market there.
I took a risk, and that was because I wasn't concentrating on that decision in front of me. Okay. I was too busy looking around, dealing with orders, dealing with people, looking for other products, looking at what was happening in another market.
Yeah.
Well, and I essentially got talked into that decision, and I think that's a problem that a lot of entrepreneurs have, is they have so many balls in the air. And that's fine. You're going to have that. You're an entrepreneur. You're going to have to be head of marketing, head of finance, head of sales, all in one. But when it comes to it, whatever's in front of you, you need to be 100% on that.
Yeah.
And I learned that very quickly from the mistakes that I made.
So you touched upon your family. I'm assuming then they're the we. When you're talking about we did this, we did that.
My grandparents are amazing, to say the least. And they saw that it was making their grandson happy, so they wanted to get involved, and it was hilarious, absolutely brilliant. I'd have my gran helping me pack phone cases, she was like the admin queen. She was my backbone throughout all of it, and she taught me the organization because she used to work in a warehouse years ago. And honestly, if you're out there right now and you work in operations or logistics, you are incredibly talented people. Because entrepreneurs are very creative, but when it actually comes down to systems, protocol, and the stuff that actually makes things happen, we're not so good at. So you need people like that. And they got involved. My nan and granddad would help me put things together, run me to the post office. They'd be here to sign packages when I wasn't I was at school, or
Yeah.
whatever. And then on top of that, I'd have my close friends during the summer when we weren't working, helping me pack and send
Packing and
things off.
posting. So I mean, so you've had a lot of success, but as with any successful business people you see out there, we say that they're amazing. Actually, it's always been the people that they've had around them, the team, the support that you don't get to hear about that have contributed to
No,
that success. So that's
yeah.
fantastic to hear.
You don't. I mean, I'll give you an example. Obviously, we know each other and we follow each other on social media. But I think it was 3 nights ago, I went back into my old camera roll and on my laptop and found some really, really bad baby face photos of myself. And one thing that I'd recommend an entrepreneur to do is to document your life, document your successes, document your failures. And one day, if that's a success or even if it's a failure, you can look back at it. And I did that. And I looked back and I found all the old photos of my my granddad sitting over there, surrounded by packages with the dog, and it was good, just brilliant to see.
Yeah.
Remember,
I did see it. I mean, I looked through it. You could really see the growth, the trajectory, and yeah, it was quite impressive actually. It was really good. Really
it's just hilarious. I mean, I posted that on Instagram, and I had friends reaching out to me going, "Oh, James, I remember walking into your kitchen," and it was kind of like, "What's going to be the sale of the day?" Because they'd walk in and they'd see like garden gnomes, they'd see like I don't know, hamsters,
everything.
whatever.
So we, a lot of success coming at a very young age, and then you went to university, and then something else happened in your life that again took you to a different level.
Yeah, so university was a great time for me, and I think if anyone out there is looking at going to university, I would say it's a great opportunity to become maybe what you want to be or closer to what you want to be, because I was lucky. I went to university, no one knew who I was, no one knew my background, and I was able to really grow into my own skin and learn what made me happy. And at the time, while I was at university studying, I still have eBay running in the background, still making good amount of money along the way, hustling. But I also had the premonition of, I don't know if I ever want to just carry on doing this. And I was looking at what was popular at the time around me. Very similar, going back to the phone cases. What was popular? What interested me? And social media had really kicked off. Facebook was around. MySpace was on its dying legs, and Instagram came out. And I remember looking at Instagram, and people were just uploading pictures of holiday photos from 2011, Portugal, food photos. Yeah, exactly right. And I didn't think it was ever going to really change from that, but you needed to have that like professional level. I mean, there's a difference between a private Instagram account and a professional Instagram account. So I thought, okay, I want to do a professional Instagram account, and I want to do something that really interests me. And I speak for myself in this, but I know I'm not wrong in saying a lot of people like luxury.
Yeah.
And as a young person, I like seeing young people with luxury.
Yeah.
So it was putting those things together and essentially looking at the market, what would interest people, what's relevant, what's like, oh my God, did you see that photo kind of aspect, like engage. And that was it. That was the method in the madness. And fast forward a few years, Rich Kids of Instagram literally just went pop.
Wow.
And it was now its own market. It's now its own.
Exactly. It's its own brand. It's its own TV series. It's got a book. It's
crazy.
Phenomenal.
It's mad. And I look at influencers now, how influencer markets happened and how they're staging photos and next to cars in jets and all this other rubbish.
Of course. But your account pretty much, so many other accounts that came along, almost like copycat kind of accounts, but similar theme. But also, we talk about Rich Kids of Instagram, a very successful account. But again, we talked about success there, but you don't even need to go into it. But you told me before that you've got loads of accounts that probably didn't do as well. But it was, again, broadening what you're going out to do.
I actually, this is really laugh. I actually looked at how many email addresses I made to make accounts, and I think I'm up to about 30.
Wow.
I mean, I've got James Ison 123. I've got James Ison 321. Like, literally loads and loads of them. I had food accounts. I had pet accounts. I had accounts for cars. Like anything that really I could like add value to, what I thought was cool. And honestly, some of them just completely flopped.
Wow.
Didn't make it. Got 2 likes if I was lucky. And this was back in the day when Instagram was easier to
Yeah.
grow.
Okay.
This was a case of the right.
Before this video airs, I'll ask you, and it will give you a chance to jump in and get it if it's not already taken. Is there a rich pets of Instagram?
Hold on, let me check. I don't know. I imagine there is. I imagine.
Okay,
I
fair
think
enough.
there's a rich dogs account. I think I've
Okay.
seen that. But
Well,
yeah,
amazing.
you see everything now.
Fine. So, okay, that, it gave you a lot of brand awareness. It introduced you to a lot of wealthy clientele. It's given you a global reach. You've started in a small village almost in the Midlands, diversified, national, international, and now you are a global brand, or you spearhead a global brand right now. What's next? And really that takes us to, whereas this global brand that's covering a mass market to now the deal maker for the 0.1%. So you've almost gone from huge to something small, and that's your next phase. So please tell us about that. I'm interested.
It's a case of growing up, and I say that as a young person. I'm 27, but I want a career that, again, is something that is interesting to me. Oh, just got a notification. Something that's interesting to me, something that I've got a network already that I can establish and kind of grow with. And I do think that although eBay was phenomenal, everyone's done that now. There's too many sellers. Although Instagram is amazing and it's given me the address book and the network I have, it is going to die out eventually because there's going to be something new. And I'm probably not going to be as interested in doing that in the future. So I need to make hay while the sun shines and make a move. And this is it. I spotted over the last 3 to 4 years on Instagram, I would get a lot of requests from wealthy clients, wealthy kids particularly, asking for things. And it was okay. It was fun. It was great to get a supercar for someone, get the hotel room, get the bag, get the watch. It's good. It's good money. It's a lot of work. But it was the thrill. It was good. It kind of took me back to those early eBay days. Now it's a case of I'm sitting on this amazing contact list where they ask me, okay, James, I don't want to watch now. I want to buy a house. Or I want to buy that car that's one of one or one of two. Where is it? And it's that hunt. It's that sourcing. It's that negotiation on both the seller and the buyer side.
Yeah.
I really think I found myself in. So that's it. That's really what this deal maker is. And when you talk about the 0.1%, most people have heard of the 1%. But if you talk about the 1% of the world in terms of wealth, that's a group of people or a person that earns over 500,000 a year. Now, £500,000 is a lot of money. It's significant, right? It's not a small chunk of change. But that isn't really that market that I'm in. My market is people that earn millions, tens of millions a year. So the 0.1 is for people that earn excess 5 million as an individual, as a group per year. So it's that extra layer. I mean, it's a niche of a niche.
Yeah, and to be honest, and from what I know and my own dealings with them, is that you don't just come across them either. They are hard to find, hard to get hold of, and hard to engage with, and even more so hard for them to get to trust you. However, you were fortunate because of the account that you had and this engagement that you've had essentially with the kids and growing up with them.
Yeah, I mean, I say they're clients. They're not. They're my friends. If you can do business with your friends, it's the best thing ever. I mean, it doesn't even seem like work, and I'm so lucky to say that. And I know not a lot of people are. But if there's a way that you can work with your friends on anything, or people you really trust outside of making money, that's the right recipe. So
because if all of a sudden after watching this video somebody thinks, oh, I want to be able to do that, I want to be able to, they're not going to be able to, because actually it's taken you years, over a decade, to get to where you are today, even at such a young age. But actually it's that business experience, changing markets, seeing what fails, what doesn't, building relationships has got you to a stage now where you're able to deal with the 0.1%.
It is that. It's I mean, everyone sees a Lamborghini and they just think they're going to work hard and get it. And unfortunately, life isn't like that. And life will hand you cards, and you need to know when to play them.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it is possible to do anything if you keep working.
Yeah.
Puts odds in your favor. This market that I go after and I work in is that 0.1. It's not like you pick up the phone or even get a friend to introduce you. It's very, very tough.
Yeah.
However, I didn't ever think I was going to do it, and I still sometimes have to pinch myself, and I keep going because these are the cards that are in front of me right now.
Of
So
course.
I always looked at life and especially business as steps. How did I get that PlayStation 2 game? How did I get that mini? How did I get that holiday? How did I get that? It's always been steps.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is sitting out there right now and you want to work in this market, you want to do that, you want to have that, you need to look at the steps that you need to get there and break it down.
Of course. And a lot of it has been about, you've been delivering product, you've been delivering excellent service. And along the way, you've been building relationships. And I think that's key. It's the relationships, it's the trust you've got with your clients.
I mean, people talk about business to consumer, business to business.
Yeah.
The best type of business, no matter what you do in any of those markets, is human to human.
I agree, yeah.
That can be absolutely anything. It can be you helping someone for them to get money or for them to get the item or whatever. I do a lot of things, and this actually sounds crazy, and a lot of the salespeople out there who are very Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, money, 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 will probably be like, what, how are you doing? I do a lot of things for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time and it takes stress.
Yeah.
I know if I do that for free, it will come back, and it will come back with more than probably what that deal was worth. Yeah. And my life has been that way. I mean, I won't say names because I have to protect some of the people I work with.
Of course.
But one of the wealthiest people that I work with, I literally organized hotel rooms for them, did restaurant bookings for them. What else did I do? I sorted out some like Amazon deliveries for them at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it all for free. And it was, I was stressed while I was doing everything else because I thought, I just want to get to know you. And I want to get to know you on the point of you trust me, me as not a salesperson. So if you are looking to do that, relationships are key, are usually key. They're key in anything. But it's you need to put out what you want to be.
Of course. I think that's a great lesson for any entrepreneur, anybody person in business there, is that yes, it may be about the money, the finances, and whatever you're going to get out. And actually, the intention should be about providing value. If you can provide value in the first instance, it puts you in a great place.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to any kind of competition, it's going to differentiate you.
Yeah. I mean, people know me as James.
Yeah.
They don't know me as the selfie stick guy, rich kids, or any of that. They don't. They just know me as James, and that's how I like it, and that's how I want it to be.
That's fantastic. So now you've got this. How do you see your next lot of steps going?
So I'm now establishing that brand, that deal maker of the 0.1, and we I don't want to give too much away, but my plan is essentially to learn so much. I mean, I have a 10-year plan. So over the next 10 years, I want to establish this as my career, as my plan, keep growing, keep delivering, keep exceeding what I think is possible.
Of course.
And that's
it. With having these plans and you having thought about this for a number of years now, where you're headed, how has, I've got to ask you, how's lockdown and COVID impacted your plans?
I always try to make a positive out of anything. Years ago, it was not that case. Years ago, it was not the case. I used to get stressed so much, and actually, thanks to you've been a great help for me personally. So, guys, if you're watching this, please give Rakesh some time. Phone him if you want some advice. This man has changed my life, so please.
Thank you, James, for saying that.
No worries. You pay me the marketing plug later. So I used to be a real stress head, and for me, I've kind of taken a step back throughout all of this process and thought, I'm never going to have this much time in the day to just do what I want. Now, for me, going out, holidays, they're nice to have, but they're not things that are going to build my future.
Yep.
And that's my future in my career, not necessarily my social life, everything else. So for me, I've just taken this as a great opportunity to get those articles out, to reconnect with people, to think about my business logically, to look at those steps, those little steps even more,
Sure.
and actually have the time and the motivation to make the effort. I mean, if you're sitting there right now, unfortunately, I know in the UK some people aren't furloughed and money is tough, and I get that. You need to, if you really want to like start a business, this is the time. This is the very, people are sitting ducks. Everyone's stuck at home. Everyone's able to pick up the phone. We've got the internet. We've got videos. Go for it. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. I think there's surplus stock sitting in lots of places,
Yeah.
and I'm sure if you want to get into buying and selling, that's going to be a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, there's storage containers. There's businesses going out of business. I mean, a recession creates more millionaires.
That's it.
People don't realize that recession is a horrible word. No one actually likes saying it, but it can create more millionaires. This is a recession globally.
Mindset. It's a mindset, and sometimes it's not about just doing it on your own. It is about getting the right kind of people. It's like you said, James, you're a creative, you can come up with some great ideas, but operationally, you need people who know processes and people, and then, you had your family in the past.
I know what I'm good at.
Yeah.
I know what I'm good at, and I stick to that. I don't try and be a jack of all trades, because if you're a jack of all trades across the board, everything's going to dip. Your strength will dip. Your weaknesses will go up, but is that at the expense of something else?
Of course. Wow, fantastic. So it's brilliant to hear your journey. It really is. And having spent time with you over the past few months, I've really seen it firsthand and the growth in yourself. So all I'm going to do is wish you all the best. Deal maker for the 0.1%. It's got a great ring to it. And, I wish you all the best, James. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Take care.